Good morning, RhinoCats. Happy Measurement Monday. I hope you guys had a great weekend, an awesome Mother's Day, celebrating your amazing mothers and mother figures in your life. Today, we are going to be focusing on finding the size or amount of something. Last week, we measured weight or found out how heavy an object was using ounces, pounds, or tons. This week, we are going to be focusing on liquid volume. And volume is just how much space an object, in this case, a liquid, takes up. And we know that examples of liquids include water, milk, oil, and knowing and being familiar with how to measure liquid volume is super important if you want to cook or bake, which I've been doing a lot of lately. So, really important to be familiar with how much space a liquid takes up. Today, we're going to take a look at the customary units of liquid volume, or the units that we use here in the United States to measure liquid volume. And those units are fluid ounces. Remember, we talked about ounces last week when we measured weight. This week, we're talking about fluid ounces. So, ounces that take place or take the shape of a liquid like water, milk, or oil. When we're talking about fluid ounces, a fluid ounce, about 1 ounce, is about a spoonful. So, about a spoonful of water, milk, oil, what have you, that would be about a fluid ounce. A cup is 8 fluid ounces, so 8 of these spoonfuls of liquid, or about the size of a cup of coffee, or the size of your little carton of school milk that we get with our breakfasts and lunches at Skyline. So I have an example of a cup here. So this is about the size of 1 cup. As you can see, it's about the size of a small cup of coffee, or your school milk. A pint is equal to 2 of these cups, or 16 fluid ounces. So 16 of these spoonfuls of liquid. You should be familiar with pints because ice cream comes in pints. So I've got a nice pint of vanilla ice cream here. Our Ben & Jerry's pints come in this size. Another example of a pint here I have is some cream, some half and half. So this is the size of a pint. Also, a tall glass is about the size of a pint. A quart is going to be 2 pints. I don't have an example, a physical example of a quart with me, but it's about 2 pints. So 2 of these creamers, or 2 of these pints of ice cream. So you can see quarts, also equal to 32 fluid ounces, or 32 spoonfuls. And you can see quarts in motor oil comes in quarts. Also, like medium-sized or smaller orange juices or milk containers can come in the size of quarts. But once again, it's the size also of 2 pints. And then finally, our largest unit that we're going to look at today for liquid volume is gallons. You should all be familiar with gallons because we typically buy our milk in gallon form. So a gallon is about the size of 128 spoonfuls, or fluid ounces. It's also the size of 16 cups. It's also the size of 4 quarts, or 8 pints. So 8 of these creamers or ice cream cups. So there we have it. We have our fluid ounces, our cups, our pints, our quarts, and our gallons. So those are all the units that we are going to be focusing on today that we use to measure or to find out how much space a liquid takes up. And remember, we use ounces, cups, pints, quarts, gallons when we are baking or cooking with liquids. So hopefully you guys are familiar with liquid volume. If not, today is a great day to practice getting familiar with liquid volume. So hopefully in the future we can do some cooking, some baking projects together. Or even when we made oobleck or slime in science class, we also used our units of liquid volume. So we can use them a lot. Today, your assignment is just going to be to create a liquid volume conversion chart. And I know that sounds very fancy and hard, but it is not. It's going to be a really fun project. The conversion chart is just a drawing to see or to show and compare the units of liquid volume. So it just helps you to visualize or to see your units of liquid volume and to see what they're equal to. So how many of each units of liquid volume you need to equal another unit of liquid volume. So for example, I have two conversion charts that I drew today, and you can choose either one of these to do on your own today. And I'm also going to include in the description box under this video 2 links or more to other conversion charts on the internet so that you can use these or those as a reference in addition to my drawings here. So the first one I have here is we've got a huge G for gallon. That's where I would start drawing your huge G for gallon. And then we're going to fill in all of our units of liquid volume that equal 1 gallon. So 1 big gallon of milk is equal to 4 quarts. Okay, so we have our 4 Q's that I've drawn within the large G. And I would recommend drawing each unit of liquid volume in a different color because it's going to help you to see everything a little more clearly, to compare a little more clearly and easily. So 4 quarts within our giant G, our giant gallon. Within our 4 quarts, we have 2 pints, because remember, 2 pints are equal to 1 quart. So we have 2 pink peas in each of our quarts, totaling 8 altogether. And then in each of my peas, I have 2 C's. I don't know if you can see those, but they're green C's. So in each pea, each pint is equal to 2 cups. So I've drawn 2 C's in each of my peas. So in total, I'm going to have 16 cups. That's equal to 1 gallon. And then it's getting smaller and smaller, and I know it's not that easy to see. That's why I would recommend drawing everything as big as you can on a sheet of paper or on a dry erase board. Within these C's, I just drew 8 OZ. OZ is my abbreviation for ounces because I didn't want to draw out 8 small O's. I thought that would take up a lot of space, and also I can't really see it or draw it that well. So I just drew 8 OZ in each of my C's because I know that 8 ounces are in each cup for a total of 128 fluid ounces for each gallon. Another option, and a more fun option, I think, is to draw a gallon bot. This is another great way to visualize or see our units of liquid volume. And I start by drawing my huge G for gallon, and that makes up the body of my robot here. And then I'm going to attach all the other units of measurement that equal, or units of liquid volume that equal 1 gallon. So I've got my big G in the middle. His arms start with quarts. So 4 quarts equal a gallon. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So the quarts make up his arms and legs. And then I've got 2 peas for each quart because 2 pints make up each quart. So connect 2 peas to each of our 4 quarts on our gallon bot. Then 4 C's, 4 cups to each quart, or 2 cups to each pint. So we want to make sure we have 16 total cups. And then these little fingers here are each 8 ounces. So I've got 8 ounces to each cup because each cup is equal to 8 fluid ounces. And then I've got 4 8 ounces on each of our appendages here. That's going to equal 128 fluid ounces total. So another really fun way to show your liquid volume conversion chart. So guys, I'm going to challenge you today to draw a conversion chart for gallons, quarts, pints, cups, and fluid ounces, either doing it this way, using the letters to symbolize the units of liquid volume, or get creative and do a gallon bot. Don't get frustrated with this though, guys. Have fun with this. Use my video as well as the links I provided in the description box as a resource, as a guide for you. This is just a great way to practice liquid volume, to get familiar with it so we can start really playing with it next week and the week after, and hopefully doing some fun cooking or baking lessons with it.